folks, I'm Nathan with Two Guys to Ride, and today we're here at Back to the 50s in St. Paul, Minnesota, and it is just a gorgeous day. And we are here with this beautiful 1936 Ford panel van that's owned by Bill. The chrome work on the front is beautiful. I mean, so when you got this, was it this way already, or did you have it restored?
No, most of this was already restored like this.
Okay, boy.
And the chrome on here is part of a deluxe package.
That's why, because we saw another 36 Ford panel van, but did not have all that chrome on there. But that is, wow. I like the would be Greyhound coming off the front there.
Yep.
And now you don't have the original engine.
No.
Which would have been probably a flat 6 or a flat 8.
Yeah, an 85 cubic inch flathead V8.
Okay, and so what did you put in there instead, or what was put in there when you bought it?
There's a 318 Chrysler motor in there.
Okay, so you have modern brakes then?
Yeah, there's disc fronts and drum backs, and the Chrysler rear end was put in. There's a independent, Mustang 2 front end on it.
Okay, and then of course then you have air conditioning as well.
Correct. Inside the cab and in the back end, there's air conditioning.
Okay, so I like it. So it's slightly modified, but you've got all the original look. Now, the black looks incredible. The paint job on it is beautiful.
Yes.
I don't know how long you spent cleaning it, but it looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Let's see. Now this is Royalston Desserts.
Correct.
Was that an actual company?
It was a company in St. Paul that made cheesecakes.
Oh, you didn't bring any with you, did
No,
you?
I didn't.
You don't work for that company anymore. Okay.
No.
So it's actually a company now, and they actually use Ford panel vans for deliveries and other things.
Correct.
Is this van actually from Royalton Desserts?
Royalton Desserts had it, but it's originally from Tasty Bread up in St. Cloud.
Okay. Now, let's walk to the back a little bit here. All right, so on the inside, you have the original wood floor underneath?
Correct.
Oh, yeah. So being a panel van, right now, of course, you've got, I'm assuming aftermarket soft inserts and stuff. But as a panel van, this would have been customized any way the customer wanted it.
Correct.
Shelving for plumbing, different kinds of things for, delivery of goods, whatever. However you wanted it customized. Correct. Okay. Now, the doors themselves are steel, you said?
Yep.
Okay. And what about the roof? Parts of the roof?
Well, the top part of the roof has a leather top because they couldn't stamp out that big of a piece of metal in 36. So they ran just panels all around with the wood support with leather on it, and then the joints were leaded to put them together. That's why it's so raised up here.
It's so interesting. I mean, it's the same reason you didn't have curved windshields.
Right.
They couldn't bend glass for automotive purposes.
Right.
So everyone had pretty much straight glass.
Correct.
In there. Man, okay. So other than the padding front is bottom and the sides, underneath it's all original.
Yes. All
so
original.
That original stuff is there. It's just been covered right now. And then that's your air conditioning unit up there.
Correct.
Okay. Right now, it's obvious you've got some wiring projects going on. So what's going on right back here?
So this is just the only light that came with it, which was a parking light and a brake light. Now I'm going to put these type of lights on one on left and right side for blinkers also.
And then you said something about having them mounted way back here because the doors swing open so wide, so you don't want to hit it.
Yep.
And you got to keep it out of the way of that light.
Correct.
Because I'm assuming that'll stay.
And the license plate also.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a little tricky work there. Okay. Let's take a look right up in at the engine compartment here. Okay, so tell us about the engine that you put in there a little bit.
So this is a 318 Chrysler motor, which came out of a 1969 Barracuda.
Wow. Now, some parts are chromed.
Correct.
Okay, so you've got some beautifying done in there.
Valve covers and alternator. Yep.
Boy. Matches the chrome on the exterior.
Yeah.
So, do you know how much horsepower that turns out?
Well, it's a little bit. It's about 289.
About 289.
It's just strictly stock 318.
Yep. But still, that would have been a little bit more
Yes, quite a bit more than
it would have been in
flathead.
1930s.
Yeah,
Yes, it's an interesting look here. Right before we get to the inside, I guess you've got what I would call dual zone air conditioning.
Correct.
So your windshield opens, and then you have a front vent.
Cowl
That
vent.
That
right.
would open up and then force air
Yep.
down inside as well.
Very similar to the old wings in the 60s.
Yeah. So on the inside, tell us, obviously you have different seats,
Yes.
okay? But the dashboard looks pretty much original.
The dashboard is original except for the radio and the glove box opening.
Okay.
The steering column also came out of Barracuda,
Okay.
and that's an aftermarket air conditioner underneath there.
Okay. But that's just a functional thing you've
Correct.
added. And actually, if you weren't a Ford person, whatever, you would never know that didn't go there. I know you mentioned you thought it looked like it wasn't quite fit the car, but
Right.
to someone that didn't know 36 Ford panel vans, that looks pretty good.
Okay.
And then you added I think it said an engine temperature gauge because
Yes.
the engine temperature gauge was working. But
Right.
the other gauges are working.
Yes.
This
Yep.
many years later.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how you got into cars, because you haven't always been into cars.
No, this one happened to be a pipe fitter friend of mine that had 4 or 5 different cars, and I was looking at them one day, and I says, well, I really like this one. Would you be willing to sell it? And he says, yeah, but we couldn't come together on a price.
Okay.
So 2 years later, he calls me. He says, hey, I'm ready to let that one go. He says, why don't you come over and we'll work out a price. And I did, and we did. So that's
So
how I
there you
ended
got
up
it.
with. Yeah.
Wow.
I fell in love with it like you guys, and so that's why I wanted
I tell you what, you walk by it and you can't help, but it's kind of like it pulls on you a
Yep,
little bit just
yep.
looking at it. It's stunning. So what's how long have you actually owned the car?
5 years.
5 years. So in that 5 years, what's one of your favorite memories about this vehicle?
Just taking my wife or my grandkids for a ride, and them being excited just to be inside there.
Isn't it neat? It's like going back a little bit into a time capsule.
Yeah.
And getting that ride, and especially for the grandkids, getting a ride with Grandpa,
Yeah.
making those memories.
I just married off my youngest daughter, and she was able to take some pictures with her.
For the wedding with that dad. Beautiful.
So that was kind of nice too.
Very nice. Well, Bill, thank you so much for sharing your story and your beautiful car with us. We sure appreciate it.
Well, thanks for appreciating it and doing this story on it.
Thanks for watching.